Happy Wednesday, East Hartford, and thank you for joining me for another version of Ask the Mayor. We do have a few questions for you today, and then one very important update, which I will get to at the end. So let's roll right into it. Our first question is from Melvis, and it is: Is there anything that can be done by the town to ensure the funding for the continuation of the high dose tutoring program at the East Hartford Middle School? So, Melvis, thank you for this question. We did reach out to the Board of Education and the Superintendent's office, which would be your source of information for a question of this such. And so we were told that the tutoring program was supported by a grant in the amount of $200,000 that they received from the State Department of Education. At this time, the school system is simply looking to renew the grant. So they did spend it down. They are looking to get another grant or consider absorbing it into the town's budget, which would be the Board of Ed's budget. So just as of right now, the cost is too high to do that. So they're just simply looking to renew the grant and continue on with the program so that we can sustain it long term. So your second question is: Are there any internships or programs being offered by the town to recent high school graduates? Absolutely. This is a really great question. I hope those with kids are watching and listening to this answer. So the town over the past couple of years has conducted a summer youth employment program. It has come out of our Works department. It will now be within our youth services department. It's a partnership that we conduct with Capital Workforce Partners, where we employ about 60 to 80 East Hartford kids. We've actually taken some kids in the mayor's office, around town hall, and they also connect them to job employment opportunities in the local communities, both in East Hartford and out. So those applications have not opened up yet. We are absolutely going to engage Capital Workforce Partners so that we can again conduct a summer youth employment program here in town. But what I would suggest is that you reach out to youth services, make them aware of your desire to put your kid in this program. They'll get you connected with all the application, all the information you need so that we can get you guys signed up. The program itself usually starts in June. So within the spring is when we, identify the work sites. We work with our community partners. We get everybody signed up. We vet the kids and the students. So that should be beginning soon. So just simply reach out to youth services, and they will connect you with the folks who are helping assist with the summer youth employment program. All right, and that's thank Melvis. Thank you very much for that question. So our next question is from Rocio Ruiz. It was are any potential property tax relief coming our way? And your second question being, can you address the outrageous high electric prices, which I heard is going up? So they have already gone up, and I have also heard that they are going to go up again. And so the electric rates are set by Pura at the request of Eversource or any other electric provider. As you guys probably all know, our electric bills have pretty much skyrocketed, and that's due to the new public benefit charge, which was due to legislation that allowed the state of Connecticut to purchase power from the Millstone nuclear plant. So that is why we have that charge. That cost has now trickled down to us, the consumer. And so there is nothing that I can do as a municipality, as we do not set electric rates. We obviously do not oversee Eversource. They're not a part of the local municipality. They're a state quasi agency. And so any complaints you have about that, you got to direct them right to Eversource or your state legislature. Because like I said, this is a state quasi agency. But as you can see in the news, there's a lot of pressure that's being put on the state to figure out how to lower these energy prices. I agree they are way too high. The public benefit charge has increased my bill personally significantly. I can't imagine other people's. So unfortunately, sir, there is nothing that I can do about it. And then to your first question, are there any possible tax relief programs or potential tax relief coming? So as of right now, I do not know. We do have a number of existing tax exemption programs, and this is for our veterans. This is for those who are blind, those who are partially or totally disabled. We have exemption programs for our seniors. There's a new exemption program for motor vehicle. So we do have those exemption programs that exist right now. Those can be found on the town's website at www.easthartfordct.gov/the assessors page. And on the left hand, the blue tabs, you're going to see a tab that says exemption programs. That's where you'll look. You look at the different programs, you click on one, and within each program, you'll identify the criteria and any of the income eligibility requirements that you have to meet to be eligible for that program. However, when it comes to future tax relief, we are in the middle of putting together our budget. Budget workshops are going to be starting the end of February. I believe February 24th is the first budget workshop with council. Right now, I'm meeting with my directors to basically compile this budget so that I can present it to the council. We do not have our revenues in yet, which would be offered to us by our grand list. Once we do, we'll know where the budget's going to fall, what we can and cannot do. There is likely to be a small mill rate adjustment. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Once again, I have not promised a mill rate decrease in both my first or second term. We have to continue on with economic development. But like I said, we do have existing exemption programs, so please check it out. You may already be eligible for some tax relief. If you have any questions at all, just please call the assessor's office. And with that, as we talk about the budget, I have directed my departments to present to me or submit to me a flat budget, as flat as we possibly can, only funding what we contractually need to fund or contractually is being increased, such as salaries, services for goods, services for products. So I am asking my directors to do that so that we can try and keep the budget as flat as possible. And as you guys know, we continue on with aggressive economic development for the purpose of shifting the tax burden from residents more to commercial so that we can even out that tax burden and kind of level the playing field for all of us. But thank you very much for your question. Our next question is from George. What is the status of One Wood Pub? One Wood Pub is closed for the season. I did talk with Matt Corey, who's the operator of the restaurant there at One Wood Pub, and that's really just due to a lack of foot traffic. Obviously, the weather, we've had some snow, some really cold days where the snow has obviously stayed on the ground for quite some time. So we aren't seeing foot traffic this winter. This is not necessarily a warm winter like we've seen in the past. So due to that, the One Wood Pub will be closed for the season. Our next question is from a Silver Lane owner, and this is a follow-up from a last question that we had for the last Ask the Mayor. And it was any reason given for the no answer from the state regarding the traffic light being changed from red to a flashing yellow at Silver Lane Plaza 2 entrance? So the answer is quite simple, but the problem is not as simple to address. And so the reason why we cannot shut off one light or change one light to a blinking yellow or anything like that is because both the lights are synced. So what we do to one happens to the other as well. And so they're both linked in that way, but we are currently talking with DOT to see if there is a way that we can just potentially bag the second light that is not at the intersection of all these, but the one that's just kind of randomly there. I still believe that both lights may support future development of Silver Lane Plaza. But for now, we understand that it does present an inconvenience to you guys, to all of us. And so we're just talking to DOT at this point. Can we just bag the lights? Even if it's operational, it still allows us to go through it and only hit the one light that's at the intersection of Aldi's and Silver Lane. So sorry I didn't provide that explanation before, but happy to now. Our next question is from Charles. Why did Subway go out of business at the corner of Main Street and Burnside Ave? What will go in where the Subway was? So we did reach out to the building owner. Subway did not provide any reasoning that prompted their departure. However, the unofficial word in the area is that we were simply oversaturated with Subways, which would mean that we were not shopping at that Subway as much as we needed to possibly meet their bottom line, to make their business feasible. I know we have one down at the south end of town near Pratt and Whitney, Carmine's, and then I believe there's another one at the north end of town. So we just may have too many for what we're actually, shopping at. So that's the reason why they closed down. But it is a private owned business. They don't have to tell us why they left. And we talking to the property owner, they don't have a future use slated for the building yet. They are beginning to promote it. I know anytime a business closes down on Main Street, it can be a bit of concerning. However, I look at it as an opportunity for a new use to come in, one that we're actually going to like, one that we're actually going to shop at. So Subway apparently just wasn't that use. So, I wouldn't raise the alarms yet. Like I said, that just, I think, creates an opportunity for something better to go into that place. But thank you very much for your question, Charles. Our last question is from Louis. And with a bird flu in Connecticut, which was on local news, are there any plans to contact hen and chicken owners in town? So I did want to confirm with you guys, we have had 2 cases now of the bird flu in Connecticut, both down the southern end of Connecticut, basically in New Haven County. And so, yes, per our ordinance, residents are allowed to have about 6 to 8 hens or birds raised in their yard. However, they do have to register that with the Health and Human Services Department. That is not an annual renewal registration. It is a one-time registration license with the Health and Human Services. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back through our records and see those who are registered with us and basically make sure they're aware of the information, what's going on with the bird flu. We continue to update our webpage as well as our social media from any information that we're getting from the Department of Agriculture or from DEEP, to make sure that you're informed. So please check out our website. Please call the Health and Human Services Department if you need to. And like I said, we'll be going back to contact those owners of chicken and hens, who we have on record directly, to make sure that they know this information as well. All right, my friends, that is all the questions that we have for you today. The last update I wanted to give you guys, just a reminder that tomorrow, January 30th, Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Town Council Chamber, I will be giving the second annual State of the Town address, where I'm very excited to share with you guys all of the exciting projects, new initiatives, town services, that we continue to offer you guys. And, I assure you, I think you're going to be very happy with the things you're going to see. And, we've got a really strong 2025 slate ahead for the town of East Hartford. So very excited to show you. Come on out. We're going to present, and then we're going to open it up to question and answer so that I can hear from you guys directly and, get your feedback on all the things that we're working on. So with that, my friends, thank you very much. Continue to send me your questions. Just a reminder, we have a new series called The Mayor's Minute, which is now an update of every council meeting after the council meeting. So you'll see those on the Wednesdays after every first and third council meeting of the month. And that's just, once again, to make sure that we're getting as much information to you guys as possible. We're being transparent, and we're making sure that you are an informed citizen of the town of East Hartford. All right, my friends, have a happy Wednesday, and I'll talk to you soon.